And in some cases, there are so many restrictions and funding challenges that it's not even possible until you get a critical mass of students. I know in Sherwood, I probably won't be able to find this in writing, but they would not offer a class unless there's 25 students, just for the cost of the FTE. So if you're trying to start a program, you only have 10 students, you're probably going to not be able to do it until you somehow figure out to reach critical mass. In order to do that, some of us have combined courses, and anyway, we try to get our numbers up to 30 and so forth. But what you can do, in one sense, the low-hanging fruit for getting students involved in building critical mass is to do after-school and beyond-the-bell programs, so that you create an excitement and involvement around. There's a lot of options, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. The one that I have not started, and I personally will start this next, and I'm committing to you and actually to Tucker and team and students and Jane's going to hold me accountable. She works in as a peer of mine at Sherwood School District. She'll hold me accountable for starting a club in a Cyber Patriot Club. Michael Swinarski mentioned this yesterday, kind of in passing, but Cyber Patriot is a program where you can have a group of students work on security issues, and it's a contest. A national contest, and we only have, I think, 2 or 3 Cyber Patriot clubs in Oregon at this point in time, but there's a site. If you go there, you'll learn all about it, and it's not that difficult to sign up. I had a student at Sherwood High School the last 2 years who participated in a Cyber Patriot club with another organization, and that's how I became acquainted with it. I'm going to introduce Sherry. I'm going to talk about shop seals. Sherry.
Well, he asked me to tell you a little bit about the student organization that I use. Those of you that receive Perkins money may or may not be aware. I didn't realize how many didn't know, but basically you're supposed to have a student organization in order to get Perkins funds. You have to be able to show that you're having your students apply what they're learning in the classroom in real-world environments. So when I moved to Idaho from Idaho a couple of years ago, we had an FFA club there, but there was already somebody else was already running that, and they asked me to be the computer science and engineering teacher, and then the wood shop wasn't being very busy, and the manufacturing needed somebody to lead that, and so I found that I was straddling a lot of fences in a lot of different directions, so I was looking for a student organization that could straddle that right along with me. And I know that there's other organizations that will do some of what I do in skills, but not everything. And so skills is really kind of a broad-based thing. We cover anything from culinary to nail care to construction to computer science, and then of course all the job skills, interviewing and that sort of thing. So it's pretty well-rounded, but it's just getting its start in Oregon. Hence my plug for it. The more the merrier, and that's for sure. We only do a certain number of contests, but we can still certify our students to go to nationals if we feel that they're ready for that challenge. And so that's basically what I do, is I introduce students to it. I haven't got to the point where it's a mandatory requirement for them to join, but the kids that join, you go to these contests and you come back and it's a completely different conversation that you can have. Because now all that stuff that you've been yammering on about in class that they kind of glaze over has relevance. They're talking to people who do this for a living. And the number of kids that get, they win contests in the state of Oregon, and our state advisor is Teresa, has been amazed by the number of calls that she gets, seriously going, hey, do you have a kid that's in diesel tech? Or do you have an automotive kid? Or do you have a kid that is doing carpentry or furniture making or cabinet making or computer science? She gets those calls all the time. So this is we're seen as a resource for this. Part of what I teach in my programs is apprenticeship programs. There's more than one way. So what I tell my kids is an apprenticeship program enables you to learn, get paid, and in 4 years you're owning a pickup truck and have your own house, compared to somebody else who's got a college debt up to here. Which, I'm not saying that college isn't a good thing. I have 4 degrees in myself. I tell my students that, and I collect them because they keep giving them to me. But really it's about getting kids involved and making it relevant. And so student organizations like any of them, FFA, FBLA, I have nothing bad to say about any of them. It gets the kids applying what you're teaching in the classroom. So unless you have questions about skills, you know, I did actually have a website here.
Lock it up. Hey, kids.
So if you are interested in skills specifically, or you have questions about it, this is a great resource. This is our Oregon Skills website, and it's just skillsusaoregon.org. And they have some great resources there for starting a chapter. Teresa is an amazing state advisor. She will come to your school. She will give you presentations. She will help get students that are in chapters, because part of what the kids get is they get points if they can, you know, introduce the Oregon Skills to your school. So you can actually get kids that are in it from another school that will come and visit you. And I'd be happy to have my officers do the same. You know, if you're not sure if this is something that you're interested in or that you want. And officially, my first year in it was this year, and we took a student to nationals and prepared a speech. So it's pretty exciting.
Way to go.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Sherry teaches at North Marion High School, and run down there and take a look at her program. She's in a small school, considered rural, and but it offers a lot to her students. So thank you, Sherry. Brenna, raise your hand, Brenna. Brenna is I would like to adopt her, but her parents and we haven't agreed on terms yet. So anyway, she's pretty wonderful. She has been one part of the team that started the Girls Who Code Club in Sherwood, and they're going to take it away. Brenna.
Okay, so hi. As T said, I'm Brenna Fazio, and this is Kiara O'Sullivan, and we're part of the Girls Who Code Club at our high school. And so we started the club because we were some of the few girls in our computer science classes, and we decided to start about a year and a half ago. And we just wanted to spread our passion for coding with other girls for school. And so we were eventually matched with an instructor, and we've been meeting bi-weekly at the high school since November.
So every meeting we talk about inspiring women in tech, learning how to code in different languages, and working on our final project as a club. Our final project is to create a website, app, or piece of technology that helps a cause that we care about. For our final project, we all agreed to create a user-friendly website focused on recycling that provides information on different locations of recycling centers throughout our community. We hope that by providing a reliable and accessible source of information about recycling, people will be encouraged to preserve our environment. Our club has helped get more girls at our school interested in computer science. We even have girls coming all the way from Newburgh and Tualatin to participate in our club. We were interviewed and featured in the Sherwood Gazette. It was exciting to tell the town all about our club.
So next year we're considering allowing middle schoolers in the club so we can start getting girls more interested in coding at a younger age, because in middle school the percentage of female students interested in computer science is around 66%, but the number drops to 32% for high school girls, and then even further to 4% for college women. Programs like ours help sustain interest in computer science and encourage girls to take a look at the field. Technology enhances every aspect of life, and computer science is extremely influential in how we shape the present and future. But in 2015, women held 57% of all professional occupations and only 25% of all computing occupations. And we hope that our club and encouragement from others can help to bridge this gap in the technological workforce. Even if they don't decide to pursue a career in computer science, the girls that participate in the club gain skills in our club like bravery, sisterhood, and respect that will propel them in any future career.
What questions do you have of the girls?
How did you promote it?
Like at the school.
Yeah. The girls from Newburgh involved?
It's a very good question. A girl from Tualatin knew her father is a friend of Jesus.
Yeah, so friends. But I'm getting inquiries because of the website. They're looking to say, where are the Girls Who Code Club in Oregon? And it's in our community. So I get emails about from the other day. I received one from a father of a fifth grader in Beaver. How can I get involved in the club? And so we're saying you don't need to come to Sherwood and create your own club experience in your schools.
How many girls are in?
In a given meeting, you could have anywhere from like 7 to 10 people. I guess I go first.
How did you involve the middle school kids? Did you go to school later than you do?
We haven't yet, but we were talking it over this year. We are seriously considering.
We may have to bus them. We have 2
Yeah.
middle schools and we get out at the same time, so
Oh, you
they.
have the same time.
Yeah.
I'm a middle school teacher, and I was thinking about the statistics that you put out, and through your extensive experience, why do you think the interest in coding with females goes down as they get older?
I think it could be a lack of exposure to programs that allow them to code or allow them to pursue careers. Because not necessarily that it's not available to females, but that it's just not as available in middle school. And I think people perhaps find other niches to fill. Or it could even be, although I don't believe this, it could be a lack of encouragement or a lack of push towards those careers. I think it could be a lot of things, but I think that every year that we're just good at, like, percentage is remaining is decreasing less and less. I think more girls are becoming interested in technological people. Yeah.
I know that when said what's going on, and they said, oh, well, we were told that boys are the builders. So they're getting this today in our classes. So I very quickly, we had girls only lot, and the girls went to work and they built their own and they used piece of this. So do you find that, my question, sorry. My question is, do you find that you run into that sort of stuff yet at your school?
Like that people were
Giving this
discouraged.
back because girls aren't supposed to be doing this sort of thing.
I think especially young girls, like unconsciously, parents will push them less towards like engineering fields and more towards like regular fields.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like an unsaid rule almost, where no one's actually saying, hey, you can't do that, but it's still like going outside of the normal boundaries to do that. It takes a little bit of bravery to do like coding or robotics, because the norm isn't the limit to do that.
And these are brave girls. So, Don.
I think St. Mary's Academy, girls took place statewide in the robotics competition. I think they did number 1. So that's an old school for you.
Don.
Yep, I commend you because I'm doing a lot of directly programming, coding for a long time. Young women would come and say something. Frequently, the high school girls are more mature and smarter than the guys are. That's a fact. Therefore, they're already thinking about their futures and stuff. And many of them have very eclectic tastes. They're taking a lot of variety of courses. And the guys were airheads back when they were in 4th grade. They got into gaming, and so they are so narrowly focused on this that it doesn't matter what else is going on, they're taking this course. And the young women said, I love cooking, I like this, and I like this, and I'm going to try this. And that's what high school is kind of about. So it's a struggle because you guys use courage, and as well as you are wiser than the guys. Or it's a little harder to say, oh, this is really cool.
So Don Kirkwood is the originator of the No Boys Allowed, NBA. Now, we in Sherwood adopted it and we got our legal hands slapped. 2 years ago, we had to take it out. But we build courses that are feminine, if you will, focused without the name and the, you guys, you can't be there. So there's ways to work around this. It is interesting. Don Kirkwood's definitely a pioneer in that field, that area. We're going to move on. Last question. Thank you, girls, and they are brave. So, Oregon Game Project Challenge. Randy, how many teams? Randy, you tell this story. You.
I can't tell you how many teams, but I know this is the 10th. Well, this was the 10th year. I can read the board though. 58 teams, 250 students. It's huge. It's just an amazing event. This year, for the first year, they had it at Western Oregon, a tremendous venue. It was in their big gymnasium, and it was like coming to Comdex for gaming. Just tremendous number of people, kids showing off their projects. What more to say? Yeah.
Just go there.
Start a team and bring your kids. You will hook them on computer science.
Middle school and high school, Game Maker, Unity, whatever engine you can create games in, they give a theme. Watch the website, they give a theme. It's usually 4 to 5 kids in a team. But we had virtual reality group there, and it was, anyway, it's exciting. I have an esports club, and it annoys me. But it is bringing kids. It's like be there in my lab after school, and I said, you get Tuesday. Gee, we want Thursday, and now we want Friday, and now we want Monday, and now we want Tuesday. And T. Smith, just leave your lab open because we want to play X game, whatever it is, in the afternoon. And the jury's out on why I would do that. Other than these kids need a home, and I can encourage them to move into computer science. But the esports thing is big. ESPN does this, if you're, and you can do that. Kathy, NC Wit.
Yes, I am.
This is Kathy. NC Wit, talk to us.
Good morning. Welcome to the last day. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention. I sort of was paying attention. I heard the day before.
She tunes me out. Come on.
So right there. So NC WIC. Who's heard of NC WIC? Oh, not a lot of you. Okay. I need you to hear my voices today. So NC WIC is the National Center for Women in Information Technology. I am a woman in tech. I have a degree in engineering. I have a graduate degree in IT, global IT management. And NC WIC is one of those organizations where I wish I had when I was growing up. Went to college in 1980s. So, we are all about women, diversity, gender equity, and computer science. I consult on a program called Aspirations in Computing, and it's all about encouraging high school women to pursue computer science, continue that into college and into their career. But we also work cradle to career. We start in elementary school. We start doing middle school camps. We honor high school women. We give collegiate scholarship awards. It is a wonderful, wonderful program to be involved in. It's an NSF-funded program out of the University of Colorado Boulder. We produce many, many resources on what you can use in your classroom to help women stay engaged. I had a box in my car with all the resources, and I got up this morning, my kiddo went to swimming practice, took my car with the box of resources. So, ncwit.org is your website. You can order anything you want, need, desire, it's all free. If you can't get access or don't remember, send me an email, I'd be happy to connect you. We have things from CSM Plug exercises for everybody to use in your classroom, as well as how to convince the girls who are in your classroom to stay, and ways to recruit girls to be in your classroom to take these classes. 3 days ago, I talked about community, how you guys were going to find your circle of 5. And NC, we provide a community for these women to thrive. We put them together. We have 10,000 women in our community nationwide. I manage 35 of the 75 NC affiliates around the world. That includes U.S. military bases, Puerto Rico and Guam. It's a great community. It's strengthening, it's motivation, it's encouraging, and it's birds with feathers. So if you have women in your classroom who are interested in CS, send them to me, send them to us. Let us mentor them and encourage them to stay in the business. Now, the other thing we have is the Educator of the Year Award. We are lucky, and I'm like sure I got everybody. We are lucky to have 2 educator winners, NC WIC educator winners. One is Kevin. Kevin, are you down here? He might be in his room. He is our Alaska Award winner. He is our visiting faculty. So he won the NC WIC Educator of the Year Award for Southern Alaska. And we have my friend and business partner right here, T. Smith, won the award for Oregon, Educator Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. We understand that the educator is vital to the success of these women. You saw these girls who cocoa up here. I get to go around the nation and talk to these educators and encourage them to stay in it, to win it, be there for those ladies. Model classroom behavior, be really encouraging. With it comes a PD award, comes a cash award, and a nice little trophy that gets to sit in the front of the office to make sure the administrator knows how important the educators are. It's important. Right?
It's in a closed cabinet right now, so.
So, that's all you can see with Kat, but I do have a few logistics for the rest of today. 2 more things. Jan will probably talk to you at lunch today about sharing your email with those in your class, so that you can continue the community that you found here in the last 3 days, to talk to each other, to have encouragement and support. If you do not want your email address shared, make sure you tell Jan, she's waving at you in the green back there. Make sure you tell Jan you want to opt out. Otherwise, we will assume that you all want to stay connected via email. Number 2, and this is a biggie, and I'm begging and pleading and asking nicely. T will ask and beg you nicely too later. The survey. After lunch, your faculty members will give you a 10-minute break. Done, right? Yes, 10-minute break right after lunch. Okay, maybe 5. Depends on how much you want to tell us. An electronic survey. Please fill this out. She cannot fix what we do not know is broken. If there is something here today, yesterday, Tuesday that did not work, we need to know about it so we can make it better. Our job is to provide the best CSP in Oregon we can possibly provide. And without you guys telling us what doesn't work, we can't fix it. In addition, if things worked really well, we'd like to hear that too. We have to do a final report, we were talking about this morning, to ODE on this grant. We need to show them what worked well so that they continue funding us for the next 2 years plus. And we want to show your successes. So if we've done something really well, share it. If we haven't done something really well, we want to hear that too. Don't hold back. Kirk will give him 12 minutes. Thank you all for coming. I'm done now.
Fine. All right. Kathy, long retired teacher, leader, emeritus. That's what we synonym for old, like, anyway. Don's the long-time engineering teacher at Hillsborough High School, been leading the state in that. Now retired, one of the leaders for both CSTA, and he's been doing some after-school work.
Yeah, and so I want to talk about after school, but before I mention that, I want you to give this guy here a big round of applause, because T and I kind of teamed this thing down with the legislature that brought this money in significantly, and we want to compliment Representative Betty Comp, who was just incredibly influential and helped us tremendously on the process of how to get legislation passed. And so, if you know of anybody out there, we've still got a bunch of these on the website that are coming up over the summer. If you know of any other teachers that would benefit from something like this, please personally call them and tell them, because we need to show as much result from this grant as we possibly can. And I would like to see some of our SuperQuests that are coming up pick up another 50% more people. So if you know of anybody, call them and tell them, hey, if the classes have been good for you, tell them about it and get them to go. And then briefly on the outside of school time is kind of what I'm focused on, other than this grant stuff with my MIT work. And in Hillsborough, a number of years ago, we did a thing called eChamp, which goes back to about 2007, and it was modeled after the highly successful athletic coaching system. And my district superintendent and some of my school board members were following that research that we did over a period of about 5 years. And 3 years ago, when we didn't have to cut teachers, they decided that they wanted to have STEM at every single building in the district, at least something every week after school with a champion or a person in the building that was the coordinator. So that meant if I got a call from somebody at Intel that wanted to help or do something with STEM at Guantama Elementary School in Hillsborough, at least I would be able to say, look on the list and say, okay, this is the person that helps coordinate that. My district is the 4th largest district, Hillsborough. We allocated $250,000 to this, with a half-time person at the district office, and the coordinator at the building gets paid a stipend, plus they get like $5 a student or something like that, which means that like a 1,500 student high school would get a stipend plus another $10,000 almost that they can spend on either more stipends, etc. You should, having those feeder programs, those after-school programs that are feeding K through 12 all the way up, and you or somebody getting paid to make sure that there's after-school activities around STEM for the kids, That should be happening. And if we can fund sports, which is a great thing, I don't want to cut those sports programs, because a lot of kids are in school because of that. But why not fund STEM also, where 100% of our kids in after school can get a living wage job someday? We just finished our 3rd year, and even with the budget issues that were facing us, they committed to funding the after school program for next year. Next year will be our 4th year. It will be $1 million in. We're impacting probably over 13% of our 20,000 students in the Hillsborough School District. I want to encourage you, if you want to know more, you'll need to come talk to me individually or email me. But there's other districts that are beginning to do this, and you should have after-school stipends for stuff where the kids can get a living wage job someday. All kinds of ORTOPs. How many of you have done ORTOP? Basically FLL or FTC or FRC now. I mean, there's a bunch of OGPC. Basically what you should be doing is getting paid as a coach, at least something, and then, have these after school teams. It makes a big difference for your kids, as you all know.
Okay, thank you. I've been a union president for many years, and I can help you negotiate stipends and the frame for it, because that idea of paying you and honoring you for the work you do after school, it's enrichment, it's important. Schools, or it's children gain, and administrators value that. And so I have stipends, and Dawn has stipends, and we can help you with that. Email us as well. So, yes, you have one last thing.
I do. It's my last thing, I promise. This is, I keep saying everything is important, it's all important. Don Kirkwood took me over aside and he made the point, and it's an excellent one. If you have any students that you know who was a huge success story, female, international, doesn't matter, I don't care. If the person that you are, your student, tugs at your heartstrings because this person went from here to here, and it took this long or this long, and we want to know about it, because those success stories are what makes a difference down in the ceiling. And I can talk metrics and numbers all day because I'm a numbers girl, right? But if we can make the personal, emotional connection to what you all have done to reach those students to make a difference, that's important. So share that name with me, and we'll make those stories happen.
One more thing, and that is you need to contact your legislator, whether it's a representative or a senator, and invite them to come into your classroom next year and meet those great kids. When I go down there to the legislature and I start to talk to those folks, they don't tell me about you necessarily. What they tell me about is some kid that they met and what that kid shared with them and the awesome things that those students are doing. And you're the people that can get them in contact with those students, because you've got great students, but they're not going to call you up and ask if they can come in, because they know that some teachers feel like they're spying on them or something like that. You have to invite them in. And if you send them an invitation, most of them will come, especially once the legislature's out of session. And then let them meet your wonderful, fantastic kids, because you've got them. And then they'll go back and they'll talk about the kids.
Thank you all. Have a great session this morning. You have 30 seconds to get there.